Hello everybody, welcome to MMM presentation in Thailand, which is a business game. We are group 24 of Circle 9. These are our members. Like I said, my name is Wambo Okuchukudi Kenneth, Tax 1. When you receive an information that you're going to become a guider stroke, leader in MMM community to enter into a new country and develop MMM global there. Well, one of the resources we have is that we need to have an internet and a team of knowledgeable students from the school. I also need to have we also be given a $50,000, which we'll have to, and the rest of the money will be generated from the system. So we will make out an hour plan, a plan of an hour for a week, which we must specify the number of registration and deposit we achieve over this period. And the tools that were required in this mission is we need an internet, a high-speed internet broadband for communication and spreading the MMM message and training. We also need another tools again. We need a team of 10 knowledgeable students from the school. We also need to train. We also need the following. We also need to train. Sorry, we also need to obtain some of our medias from Facebook. We also need to create a Facebook page, posting it to our daily Google account, Google Handout, Google Drive. We also have to create a school or a training environment. We also have we also need the ability to train people in remote location and telling them about MMN ideology. We also need a YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is the ability to bring mass media in record to form a large number of connected populace in Thailand. We also prepare to roll out our plan using our SWOT analysis. We also need to continue to form groups on Facebook and continue to boost posts and community page. We also need to promote MMM and create once again to penetrate the online community. We also need to promote 7 offline events as in visits to charity homes like nursery schools, orphanage homes, and old people's homes. We also need to introduce Bitcoin in MMM with its philosophy and ideology arranged. We also need to start a mentorship program and hosting website. We also need to capitalize on strength and opportunity and be aware of threats and awareness. We also need to come to face in Thailand culture. We need to come to face approach, and setting up offices will be most ideal strategy. In our tax one, we roll out our workable budgets in our 1 week plan. In the day one plan, we need to secure resident apartments and pay security. In our day two, they will look forward in getting an interpreter to work and we also get a transportation services. We also need payment for MMN t-shirt, posters, banners, face cap and jotters printing. We should create a team to create a public awareness in densely populated area of Thailand. We also need to target every team should target registering not more than 450 citizens and deposit not less than $300. And our team should continue registration. In our December, we'll map out our miscellaneous and we'll total it all. In a business game in Thailand, we looked into our SWOT analysis, looked at the strengths, we looked at the opportunities. Because in Thailand, we is a country that has the economy is good. So we looked at the weakness, look at the threats, governments, regulatory agencies, and also look at the unnecessary panic, competition among all financial systems. We need to look at the media criticism. In the 1 week awareness campaign in Thailand for promotion of MMM, we engage the services of the protocol officer who will act as our tour guide in major cities where we intend to carry out our massive campaign and promote MMM. We need communicators which engage the services of some locals for interpretations for easy communications. We also need accommodation. On arrival at Thailand, we shall secure an appointment for the period of our stay. Logistics is also included. We shall engage the services of our community-based transportation for the movement around the cities in most densely populated areas. Grouping, we shall subgroup ourselves into turns for ease of presentation and follow-up. Campaign, we shall carry out massive campaign by advertising, printing of fibers, banners, branded caps, t-shirt, jotter, DVD for MMN community. Refreshment, provision of foods and drink will be made available, and photographs and video will be taken in different groups. Security, we shall engage the services of security personnel for safety of lives and property during campaign awareness. In our task to a week has passed and the average contribution of the participant to the structure is 200. Under the regulation of MML, you must provide at least 30% growth in terms of payment, starting with the first contribution. Your task is to calculate how many new members you have, your contribution to ensure that in the next 2 weeks, in order to be able to make the required payment to the older participants, it is necessary to write down our plan of action for the next 3 weeks. Under the above condition stated, point what are the resources you need, how many you're going to use, the number of new participants, money raised during this period, what extra costs you have, and how to attract them. Our response to our tax 2 question is that we have to establish people in this system. It is time that we start training guiders and with incentives. Therefore, joining the MMM movement by increasing their percentage and so that they can dedicate more energy. The number of new participants will increase based on the fact that managers will be energized to bring more people in the system. We also have a tabular form of numbers of new participants. When 25 registration per each 10 of the groups, we have 250. Average contribution per week, we have $300. Then contribution to the system, sum it up, we have 75,000 growth at 30%, which is equals 22,500. The total PH is $97,500. Tax 3, when a month has passed and you have another 100 people, taking into action on the dynamics of the growth, the new number of the participant and contribution for the next 4 weeks. Our response to tax 3 is that when 100 people PH come into, when we have 100 PH as a participant at $300, it will be $30,000. In order for the 100 PH to be paid, their 30,000 bonus, which will be considered as participant will be given additional $20 and $300. That means 30% of 100 participants equals $90 interest for each of the 100 participants. Therefore, $9,000 will be additional interest for the 100 participants. The 20% bonuses will be calculated by the number of participants, while we have the total amount of $2,000. Considering the interest and bonus, there will be additional sum of $11,000 to be generated by the system. Mathematically, if 50 participants in regular GH and PH of the 100 participants request for GH, the calculation will be 50 participants times $300 equals $15,000. At 30% of the 50 participant PH of $300 will be $90 times 50 participants, which will amount to $4,500. Bonus of the 50 participants will be $1,000. Therefore, the total amount of 50% GH will be addition of bonus and interest, which will amount to $20,500. At this time, there will be only the sum of $9,500 from the total PH of $30,000 as 50 participant GH, meaning $30,000 suspended by $20,500. In this case, if 50 PH participants with PH while withholding their interest and bonuses, $15,000 will be added to the reserve amount of 9,500 to make it 24,500, which will be sufficient for the next participant GA. But in case where there is no PH, we shall compare to make sure that there is additional income of the sum of $11,000 to add to the reserve of $9,500 to make it $20,500 for the next 50 participants here. Therefore, we must ensure that there are additional 36 to 40 participants in the system in a week to provide a sum of 11,000 at the participant at the PH of $300. With this, there shall be addition of not less than 1,144 participants in the next 4 weeks to make the cycle grow. So the cycle continues on and on for as long as the principle of regular GH and PH remains. Task 4, after 2 months, and the number of participants and deposits that we have calculated, now you can calculate what you need to organize within the next month. A week after the start of there is this local holiday in Thailand, which is celebrated during a week respectively. In this period, the activity of your plan didn't work out and you do not have enough new registration and new deposit. In this case, it's necessary to analyze our plan of action in this situation. We need to put into consideration what are the resources, how many participants do we need, what are the contributions needed to get this situation resolved. Due to lack of funds, there are delays in payment. The old participants say neither make their own contribution nor attract new members. Our response to our task force is that we can start up by stopping the growth of Marvel, pending when registration activities return to normalcy. Another response again, when registration activities fall drastically by 70%, we will be compelled to introduce a pause mode and also a waste of time. Another response again, if any participant wants to GA at the period, he or she will do as follows. Withdrawal amount, the sum you deposited minus it with the sum you've taken out for the time of participation. We also need introduce a delay rate at which they provide help and the get help match will be. We may also extend the number of days left until defrost. In addition to that, we can utilize the gathering of people in celebration and give out MMM surveillance to boost MMM publicity in Thailand. Task 5. What if our plans do not work up and we do not have enough new registration and new deposit to cover for the current cost? In this case, it is necessary to analyze our plan of action in this situation. We need to put into consideration what are the resources, how many participant contribution to get this resolved. Well, the response is that if all this our implementation does not work out, we need to go back to task 1 and start the process all over. See where we went wrong first of all. We need to establish the following also. Task 6. During all this delay in payment and there was increase of 7 days in virtue of this situation, a pause mode should be implemented in which all the macro are frozen and will be available for withdrawal when the situation come back to normalcy. In our response to our taxes, when all these situations and all this proved no abortive, we in our response, in view of the situation, a pause mode is implemented and marvels are frozen until it is right again. In this case, participants will be encouraged to avoid panic. We will also be encouraged to educate members on what pause mode is all about. We also need to rebuild trust by showing past experience on the program. We also need to complete showing transparency of MMM in the community. We also need to implement stable mining. We also need to bring about the basic principle of this action. Participant is awarded with a fixed bonus on contribution he or she makes. We also need to introduce a 20% bonus to added to the amount of assistance the participant provide. In our task 7, when all efforts became abortive and when efforts became abortive, in this situation, a restart will be implemented. And our response to that restart is that we shall begin to recruit globally and extend help in Bitcoin. We shall also begin our marketing strategy all over again. And also, we shall also use the same mass media that says negative about MMM to really explain what a restart